So I mentioned the other day that I was going to be hooking up CB radio because me and Rusty are leaving to go up to One Lonely Farmer's house. And I bought this because the original plan was that we were going to run down together, but that didn't happen. And then I got in the flood and all my stuff got left up there, but Rusty Acres is nice enough to go up there with me. So what I told him is when we run back together, we put a couple CB radios. One, I already got one in my truck and put one in his truck. And we could chitter chatter like truck drivers, you know. But then that fell through, but we're still going up there. We're just going up in this little Prius. And on the way back, one of us will drive this, one of us will drive the truck. So we can still chitter chatter like a couple old truck drivers. But to get a CB radio in this car, I need a hot wire and a ground. Now, I am hesitant to take the dash apart and look for a hot wire. It probably wouldn't matter, but this is kind of a largely electric car and computerized and all kind of stuff. I just don't want to make a mess that I'll regret later. So what I did is, I had a cigarette lighter plug in here, but it goes to this Garmin app, which runs a kind of like a dash cam, and it also has an Alexa thing where I can say, Alexa, play music, and then Alexa will start playing music.
Here's a station you might like, my soundtrack on Amazon Music.
Alexa, stop. See, we'll stop that before we get copyright infringement. But I needed to come from the Alexa plug in the cigarette lighter, which goes to this wire, which goes to that thing, and to this radio wire plug that looks like this, which means we have a hot wire and a ground. So what I did was I went to the Wall of Mart and I bought this plug. This plug here is a 3-plug. It's a thing that multiplies the cigarette lighter plug from 1 plug to 3 plugs. So I got one hole for the Alexa app, and I got one hole for, I couldn't find a plug to go in this with a couple of wires coming out the back. And I know I probably had a bunch of them up in Maine, and they might be somewhere in boxes, or they might have got left up there. But what I did is I found a double splitter with a wire on it, and one side had an extra plug and the other side had an extra plug. Well, I cut one of those extra plugs off, and then I hooked my light tester to the black wire. That's the ground. I was actually looking to make sure which wire was the hot wire, and then when I put my light tester to that wire, and see how it lights up, that's the hot wire, and the hot wire has a white line on it. So I know that's the hot wire, so now all I got to do is hook my radio plug so that the red wire goes to the hot wire and the black wire goes to the ground. I will solder those and I will seal them up so that they won't be scrubbing up against Rusty Acres. You know, he's got a knee replacement, so he might have a door hinge in his knee, and if that wire scraped up against it, he'd get shocked and he might even get electrocuted. He might even wake up like a Frankenstein monster, and we don't want to go there. But what I will do is I'll go in there where my soldering iron, everybody makes fun of the way I say soldering. I go with my soldering iron, I put these wires together and I'll wrap them up with some good black tape, or I'll find one of them little things. If I can't find that other stuff, I probably can't find my little things, my little heat shrink things, even though I remember I saved them, they went somewhere. But that's how I'm wiring up CB radio. Next thing is just going to figure out where to put it, and I thought about putting it up on her dash, and I think, yeah, that's an airbag thing up there. So if I put a CB radio up there and it blew up, it'd probably take Rusty Acres' head off, you know. And if I put it over here, I won't be able to see my great gauges, and there ain't room for the wire anyway. So what I might do is, when we get ready to come back, whoever takes this car, just have them lay the CB radio in the seat. And then they can pick it up and say, breaker, 19, anybody out there, over, come back, get back over, what's your 1020 there, buddy, and all that stuff. You can say all that with the radio laying in the seat, because you ain't gonna have to handle the radio much. And as long as you don't slam on the brakes and have it all go in the floor, you'll be good. You know, y'all understand what I'm saying? Are y'all picking up what I'm laying down? Are y'all getting a big 10-4 on my getting back over? So that's what I'm doing. Right, that's what I'm doing. So what I'm gonna do now is unstop the car running. Unstop the car from running. And then I'm gonna unplug. I'm doing a lot of uns here. I'm gonna unplug this thing, and I'm gonna unclamp this thing, and I'm gonna go connect these ones and solder them and insulate them, and then bring them back out here, and then I'll get the radio, and I'll get all the wires, and then I'll get the antenna, and I'll figure out some way to run it out, hopefully without doing damage to anything. Maybe I'll take it out through the back up on the thing there and run it up that way and put the antenna back there. Anyway, that way when me and Rusty Acres get ready to come back in 2 or 3 days, we'll have conversation going down the road, just like over the road truck drivers, which both of us have been at different times in our lives. Do I got anything else I want to say about that? I don't think so. I might. You stop beeping at me. Goodness gracious. I'm sitting here trying to have a conversation with YouTubers from all over the planet. You're just beeping away. Beep, beep, beep. You could stop doing that now. Anyway, what was I saying? Can't remember. I don't think it's important. Okay, I'll stop talking now and go get these things soldered and insulated and get the radio out here and plug it in and set the SWR meter and all that stuff, and then we'll just kind of go from there. If y'all got any questions, write them on a piece of paper and wrap it up in a $100 bill and mail it to one lonely farmer up in New Jersey to help him pay for diesel fuel, because diesel fuel's done got so high that he can't afford to gather corn anymore. So, and I'm sure he can have an appropriate answer for any question you come up with. He'll be able to answer that question. Okay? Y'all got any questions? No, I done said that. So I'm going to stop talking now, and I'll stop listening, because I'm going to stop talking. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Stop now. Okay then, so I've got a mess of wires here, and I managed to stick this over here in the dash, which, you know, with a little wedge stuck in there where that wouldn't fall out, that might not be a bad place for it to ride. But I'm going to cut the key on, and if the radio comes on, well, it might hurt if I turn, or it might be better if I turn the radio on. We'll see if we get anything. Oh yeah, we got something. Let's see what's happening. Let's do this. Click. All right. Now I gotta adjust the SWR, which is where I'm gonna cut y'all off while I make some adjustments. Here it is, SWR and calibrate, and I'm going to cut y'all off. I need both hands to do this. Thanks for watching. All right, I just calibrated my SWR. Let me squelch this. Your squelch button right here allows you to cut this down so you can get below the static. It'll keep the volume from going. Like if it's down a certain ways, you get that static, you turn it up so it quits. That's usually where you run your radio. That way if someone talks into it, you can hear them, but you don't have to listen to all that static. Breaker 19, anybody out there? Over. Right. I'm not doing something right. About right there. Breaker 19. Breaker 19. Anybody out there just got a new radio? Just need to know if it's working. Over. Doesn't appear to be anybody out there. That's okay. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna guess it's working. When we get up to New Jersey, we can check it out. But what I'll do in the meantime is just throw that radio in the back. I might try one more time. Breaker 19, anyone out there? Yeah, nobody's out there. That's okay though. I don't need chitter chatter. Cut that off. So the radio's hooked up good. So what I can do is cut this thing off. What I can do is I can take that whole radio and all these wires and put them back there, and then I might get me a little wedge, a little piece of wedge to stick in here. I think that would actually be fine to let that ride right in that dash pocket, but I don't need it. I don't need it, so I can pull this. I can pull this out and grab the whole radio, antenna, and everything, and literally just shove it in the back seat or down in the back floorboard back here. And because when we go up to up yonder together. So we'll be both sitting here in the car. We can chitter chatter with each other without using the radio. But when we come back, I just thought it'd be good to have, you know, anytime you got people traveling together across the country, if you can talk to each other, and I don't mean talk on the phone, because you could talk on the phone, but that's not nearly the same. You can kind of chitter chatter if you got a radio, especially nowadays, because people don't use them as much as they used to. So hopefully the channels won't be all jammed up with good buddies like it used to be. But yeah, so I got some other things to pack. I've got some things to load in the car. So I'm just gonna stop talking to y'all, and I'm gonna move on over to whatever I'm doing next. I've also got to get the camper ready for Rusty to spend the night in when he comes up here tomorrow. So I'll go do that. Love y'all. See you later. Have a nice day. Say hi to your mom now.